No he visto la serie
the main
Chavo Taquero,
character
güey.
died,
Fue muy
Pablo
interesante.
Escobar, after only 2
Yo creo que Narcos
The idea since the beginning was to make the show is not a show, was never to be a show about Pablo Escobar, but a show about the drug trade. So we all knew that this was gonna happen. First season covered like 10 years of Pablo's life, and then in the second season we had like a year only. And we knew that was gonna be the end. We knew there wasn't gonna be a third season for Pablo. So my feelings were mixed because at the same time I felt it was time to wrap. I felt relieved because I was living with this guy, this heavy energy in my life for 2 years, and I dedicated a lot to it. But at the same time, of course, you kind of it's a part of your life that you're leaving behind. Where are you from?
yo soy de aquí, pero mi familia es
De Mexico. Pues, what's going on in Mexico right now with the cartels? It's a big deal. In Brazil as well. So to understand what happened in the past, how it all began, makes us makes us stronger to make statements about it, to think about it, because the reality is that the drug trade is bad for everybody, but especially for Latin people, especially for Latin countries, especially for the countries that produce and export drugs. That's where people are being killed in these poor neighborhoods and these stupid wars. So I always thought, for example, that drugs should be legalized. Because after doing the show, I'm 100% sure that they should. That this war on drugs is a big flaw. So I want to know more. And I learned a lot by doing Narcos. I want to know about Cali. I want to know about Mexico. Sinaloa and all those. I want to know about it. So I think that Narcos has this great balance, which is it's great entertainment, but also makes us think about something very important in our world, in our daily lives, especially us, especially Latinos, for Latinos.
Do you feel that exposing that aspect, that dark side of artistry, sometimes reinforces the stereotype?
That's a very good question. I think that it does, because it's us again playing drug lords and drug dealers and violent characters. But at the same time, I think it's important for us to talk about our past. As we don't want to be stereotyped, which I think we are right not to want to be. But it's a difficult balance. I myself, I don't intend to play other drug dealers from now on. I did Pablo Escobar, and I think that we all have the responsibility to think about how Latinos are represented in movies and in television. But at the same time, like I said, there is a political, also another side of that, political importance in talking about something that's part of our culture, our daily lives in our countries. I'm directing a film now in Brazil. So I'm directing this in Brazil now, and now I want to produce my own content here in the States. And my goal is exactly to produce content where Latinos are represented out of the stereotypes. To tell different stories about us. Though I still think that talk about the history is important. My film in Brazil, the film that I'm directing now, is about a guerrilla in Brazil that was a leader of the resistance in Brazil against the dictatorship that we had back in the 60s. And this is something that Brazilians don't like to talk about because it's tough, it's difficult. But I think there is a political statement in doing things. That's what art is for. I think, to put a mirror in front of ourselves and look, this happened. We don't want it to happen again, or how can we think about it? So it's like you said, we have to balance these two, because both are political statements. Not to reinforce a stereotype, but to talk about the past, not to hide shit.